For all of you that know me, I wear my heart on my sleeve big time, right? So, just bear with me. Okay. It'll be 19 years in July, and for those of you that don't know how I got here, I left San Diego of 16 years, and I didn't have anything here. I didn't have no friends, I didn't have no family, and after a year of arriving here, I went through a divorce. And prior to meeting my wife, Julie, who was my savior in my life, Hawthorne Woods stepped up and became my family and my friends when I had nothing. Mike can contest to that. When I had an apartment with no furniture and no money, but I had Hawthorne Woods, and I had the police department, and that was enough at that time. So that's why I get so emotional, because it's just not a town to me. It was my family for 19 years. Still is, right? Sorry. So that's why Hawthorne Woods means a lot to me. I've made some great friends, and if I forget anybody, I'm sorry it wasn't done on purpose, right? Because all of you are important to me. But I brought my t-shirt. And yes, I'm old. All right, so now that I got that out of the way, there's just a few. I want to keep it quick. I'm not going to keep everybody here longer than I have to. But I do want to thank the village. You guys were a huge part in giving me a second chance at a life when I thought my life was done. I didn't have nothing. I had no goals, nothing coming here. Didn't have any job prospects. I just winged it. I gave up my law enforcement career in San Diego, and I took a chance, and it didn't go my way. And I felt stranded out here. And the village and the chief at that time, Chief Mike Sliozes, if anybody knows him, I'm in great debt to that man. He hired me, and he was so kind. And I didn't even have any vacation time. I was brand new. And he pulled me into his office because he knew I was struggling. And he said, "Ed, go home." He says, "Go home, regroup, see your family." He goes, "I know what you're going through. It's on me." I can tell you that now that he doesn't work there. I got some free vacation from him. So he let me go home for a week, and man, I'll never forget that. And even years later, when he was gone and we got a new chief, he was still part of my life and sent me a card to congratulate me on my first promotion, and then congratulate me on my second promotion. And so I just wanted to make sure I added Chief Sliozes for giving me a chance, giving this kid that he didn't have to give anybody a chance at a new start. My wife, I love you. I wouldn't be half the man I am today, and you guys say all these great things about me, and I appreciate it, but if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be who I am today. And my daughter, Sophia, if you ever get a chance, when I went to go have my surgery, and Mike, you're here to contest to that, this is my first surgery. I never had surgery in my life. I was scared, never been under. And I wrote a letter, and I gave it to Mike Behan. And if you want to know, ever want to know how important you are to me, sweetheart, he knows. But I couldn't have done it without. I couldn't have had this beautiful child. I couldn't have had my beautiful life without the support of my wife. So when you all tell me thank you, she deserves just as much. And I'll thank you some more later, honey. The village staff, right? Every time that I had to go in there to get a bank deposit, anytime that I had to go there to do anything with the village home next door, Wayne, Amy, Erica, all you guys, always pleasant, always had a smile on her face, always made me feel like the police department wasn't my only home, that I also had a second home next door. And I never felt like a stranger there. I never felt like, it's the guys from one of the guys from the police department. You always made me feel special. And I just wanted to acknowledge that you guys, it's true, right? So thank you, village staff, Amy. I know I forgot some other people, but all of you guys. Danette, I knew I was forgetting someone back there. I even have you written down, Danette. Right? Because believe it or not, guys, life is so short, and a smile goes miles. Ask Jan, and Jan, you don't want me to get started on you. So smile can make your day. And that's the village staff, you guys prove that to me every time I went to go visit you guys. PW, Parks and Rec, if you guys are here, you guys are, I look at public, police department's my immediate family. Parks and Rec and Public Works are my cousins, my first cousins. They're like my secondary family, and you don't get that in a lot of towns. You don't get that connection. And you guys are just as important to me as anybody else. Mike, Todd, wherever you're at, Matt Bartlett, Randy, Brian, all you guys, Randy. Because it's true. Anytime I needed any one of you guys, not once, not 100% of the time, you guys were there for me. When I needed something for the car, when I needed something for parts, when I needed something for this, when we needed your help, without hesitation, 2 o'clock in the morning, I could call you guys, and you guys were there. And I hope that you felt the same when you called on us, right? I saw you, Greg. Me and Greg go back because we both got hired at the same time and started our careers together at the same time. All right, I'm almost done. So Parks and Rec, Public Works, Mike, I've pocketed about 1,000 of your jokes. Right? My new chief can contest to that. If they're corny, they came from him. So, all right, so here's the last part, because I hope I didn't leave any department out. I thank the village staff, village hall, my fire department buddies, there you go. Colin, yeah, I'm pointing at you. You should. Keith, thank you. Rita. Come on in, everybody come on in. Don't be shy. All the way over to the back. You gotta go to the back. Sam. Go. It's like one big family reunion. You guys can go all the way back there where the cake's at, guys. Hold on. All right, so I'm on my final. If I forgot somebody, I'm sorry. Before I get to the important people, you guys are all important, but very, very important people to me and my family, my immediate brothers and sisters in blue, Greg and Sally.
Hey, what's going on?
They're my closest, longest, dearest friends. We have so many memories together. Greg, we did the Washington, D.C. honor flight together. Nobody can take that away from us, brother. You've always been there for us, just like Public Works, and every time we've called you, you've always been there. You've always been there even when we didn't call you. Like, what are you doing here? Right? But if you guys have to have a citizen in this town, that's him right there, him and Sally. So, love you guys. And I'm going to close now. I know that I'm doing my walk out here soon, and then shortly my walk into my beautiful, wonderful department field there. And I'm grateful to you guys, Scott and Chief Lindsay, for a second chance. I'm just going to go down the list and just really quick. Mike, where you at, Paramontes? Come on up. I'm putting you on the spot, Mark. This guy right here, ups and downs, because that's what friendships and family are, right? We have ups and downs. It's not all going to be perfect, right? But this has been my longest friend. He was the only one in the department, and not because nobody wanted to, but I was so new, I didn't know anybody. So I paid him to be at my wedding. I needed some guests, okay? Thank you, Fire. I love you guys. Yep. Yes, sweetie. My other daughter's coming in. Come on, Nikki. And my future son-in-law. Go with your mom over there. My good friend Michael, open back there. Mike, over there. Thank you. Rick, I see you back there. All right, so. Oh, he did. Okay, that's good. Mike, he's been my longest friend when I started here. Mike knows when I was down in the dumps, when I had nothing. When I went through the hard times without hesitation. And I know you remember this. Mike, I had nothing. I went through a divorce, I had nothing. And he stepped up. And you gave me some money to help me in my life. And I'll never forget that. And you were a good friend then. And now. Mike and I, we always share this story because we're proud of it. And if somebody says Brokeback Mountain, I swear to God. But we hiked the highest mountain in the lower 48. Mount Whitney in California. And we'll always have that, brother. No one can take that away from you. That was an accomplishment that you and I did in 2004, 16 hours. We started at 11 o'clock at night and ended at 4 o'clock the next day. All right? And nobody can take that from us. If you guys ever want to take Mike out to lunch, he's the easiest guy to take out to lunch. I'll give you an example. I'll take a cheeseburger, fries, and a large Coke, Mike. Yeah, you know what? That sounds good. 3 steak burritos and chili fries, Mike? Yeah, I'll take that. So much that when we went on our hike, we had matching windbreakers, matching hiking boots. I'm not kidding. And matching shorts. So, but I love you for that. He's actually the godfather of Sophia. And I love you, man. Sarah Canada, front and center. So, how I found out that there was employment here at Hawthorne Woods, I was having lunch at Oregano's. Didn't know anything about Hawthorne Woods. And one of the business owners, I got into a conversation and he got to how I ended up here. I told him I was prior law enforcement in San Diego. And he says, hey, you know what? He goes, they just hired this kid, a girl. I think she's like barely 21. And they hired her like 6 months ago. And I go, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, you should go see if they're hiring. And I said, all right. So I went over there, came straight to the barn, couldn't find the village hall, so I knocked on the barn door, and this was the village hall. And put in an application, and 3 months later I was hired. Sarah, I love you. You've always been, and you can ask Julie and my family and everybody else, what do I call you? You're my kid sister. You've always been my kid sister. You'll always be my kid sister. I'll always refer to you as sister because you are truly a sister to me. We'll always have Richard Marks. And the reason I say that is because her and I were actually good friends with Richard Marks' mom. And she was such a sweetheart of a lady. She passed away, but she hooked us up with Richard Marks' concert tickets, and we got to hang out with Richard Marks backstage, and so we will always have that. We have that memory together. And for those of you who don't know who Richard Marks is, Mike Behan, the young guys.
Who is it?
We'll have our music that we share. We will always share our music, our taste for music, and we'll always have our spray. Right? And that's an inside joke. Ask her and she'll tell you one day. We have New York, and we have all the honor flights that we did together, and all the support that we did for other departments when we had to go support other departments that were hurting. It was always, most of the time, you and me. And I love you, sis. Thank you. All right, John Tennant. Yes. John, I think it was hard because I was older and he was younger than me. But he was always, since I started, always been my supervisor. And what I can appreciate from John was I know in the back, even though sometimes I frustrated him because I can do that to people, I know that he always trusted me. I know that John always said, you know what, he's going to get the job done, and he had faith in me. And I can't tell you how important that is when someone actually believes in you and doesn't question you. And he would at times because that's part of his job, but there was a lot of times I knew John had trust in me. And when he had trust in me as an officer and when I promoted as a sergeant, dude, I can't tell you how important it is to know that someone said, dude, I know you got this, go ahead. And when you did that, it meant the world to me. When I was going through my divorce, I know we didn't spend a whole lot of time because you got married quickly, I got married quickly, but we had a short time of being able to go out a couple of times, and that we'll just keep in the closet. But thank you, John. I appreciate your trust. Thank God we don't have a size leg jerk department. All right. Okay, who do I got? Get over here, Mike.
Can I bring the baby?
You can bring the baby. Mike and I didn't get a whole chance to be partners or work together that often while he was here. Our shifts kind of, but I was Mike's FTO, and we did a whole lot of fun training.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we have Gardens in the Galaxy that at that time when it was famous. Come on in, guys. There's a lot of room. And when I eventually did become Mike's partner, it was at a time when our other partner got called to duty, Donald, which I'll get to you next. And so I volunteered to go to night shift so Mike and I could be together. And that was a great year because I got to know the real Mike Behan, and dude, you're solid, man.
Means a lot coming from you.
And I'm a lot older than you, so I looked at you more like my son. And a lot of you guys like my son, and I got to see you get your home and your beautiful wife and your beautiful child, and I celebrated that through you, and I was very, very, very proud of you because you said things that I wish that some of my children would have had too. So thank you. And, I love you. Prior to Donald Rachi joining our department, I was the only veteran for a long time. We did have Shamika. For all who remember Shamika, we love you. I was the only veteran at that time. And then Donald came on. And he goes by Donnie, but I did not only have another law enforcement brother, now he became a veteran, and I had a veteran brother. And for those of you that have served, that's solid, man. That is solid. I know my fire guys too. I went to a lot of Marines there, man, and it's like we're brothers already. So when you decided to join the military, man, dude, I was so proud. And when you had to be gone for a year to serve our country, that's Mike, man. We missed him so much that we would do a cutout of his face and we would take a picture while we're eating dinner, saying we miss him, right? So, thank you, man, for being the person you are, the veteran that you are, the partner that you are. And I see where you're going, and you're going to excel, man. You're going to excel. Just don't be better than me. Right? We're almost down to the wire. Three amigos, Mike Vermontes, Ed Armijo, and Anthony Cortez. So, get on up here, Tony. So, Anthony, we didn't get a whole lot of chance to be partners and work together, but when we did, bro, we caught up. We caught up, bro. And I can tell you right now, if anybody ever gets the chance, you just heard him in Lake Zurich about an hour ago. 7312, I'm at Walgreens, and we're like, really? You don't pipe up when you're at Hawthorne Woods, what are you doing? Right? But if you guys ever get the chance to know Anthony, that guy has your back. He will go down and get busy just as much as the next guy. That's a guy that I can depend on all the time. And he has a heart of gold. And we call ourselves the Three Amigos, me, Mike Vermontes, and Anthony when we work together. And yes, he's the Martin Short of it. But we love you, man. And me and Mike talk about you all the time. And you know what, dude? I know without a doubt, bro, that you have my back. Because when I see you get as passionate and as angry and as sad and as happy and you share the same emotions that I do, that's solid friendship, man. When someone just sits there and is like, oh yeah, I can see that. But you not only see that. When you see me sad, you're just as sad. When you see me happy, you're just as happy. And when you see me mad, you're just as mad. And that is a true friend, man. And I will never forget that in the time that we were partners with Mike. I know that I can count on you every time. And I love you for that. Alex. There he is.
Hoping on a call.
Yeah. Can somebody get a hold of this guy and put him on something? Alex, you know what? You came into the department and you set some standards that help everybody else set those standards. You know, and it was nice because you came in, this is one of the smartest guys I know, man. This guy can take apart this podium and put it back together. He knows the laws, he's same thing, man. When you had your family, when you had your baby, when you got married, it was like one of my own kids doing it. And you are a wealth of talent. And if you just tap into that, man, there's no stopping you. I honestly, you have the knowledge and you have the smarts to be a chief someday. Right? And I mean that. You're a good dude. And I love you, and I appreciate your family. And once I realized that your wife was Mexican, you were in like that. Right? So we know he had a good taste in women, right? My eyesight's bad. Anybody else from PD? No. I'm saving her for last. Anybody else? I didn't miss anybody in the uniform, right?
No.
Janathara. That's a nickname I have for my team.
Call it a day. You're done. He's gonna make me cry. Yes, he is.
Let me tell you something about Jan Falenko. And all you guys can test being veterans in your departments and fire and villages and the jobs that you guys hold. This is the most consistent, fair person I have met in my life. And I'm not just saying that. Every one of you guys in blue that know her and work for her know that. When I wanted to get an honest answer, I went to that lady right there. When I wanted to get an honest opinion, I went to that lady right there. When I wanted to get something I wanted to be told, I went to someone different. Right? But she was the lady that would tell you, no, I don't think so, Ed. I think that's probably not a good idea. If anytime I had to second guess myself, my thoughts, my job, my decision, I would go to that lady right there. She's the heartbeat of our department. She really is. I'm sorry, you hardly ever, I don't think I've ever seen you mad. You know, you are a blessing to this department. I'm so glad that you're still with us. You know, I know you're gonna miss when I call you and she's like, calls from the police department. Hello, is the officer Armijo there? No. Or I would do some sort of that. I'd go Spanish one day, maybe English another, and she'd be like, God dang it, is this Ed or is this actually a resident? Right? And I would just joke with it, and she just had a heart. And I would purposely walk by her desk and throw in a song, right? Just out of the blue. Right? And it could be just something from TV, right? So it could purposely be on her freaking head all day long. Right? I'd walk by her desk and I'd be like, and then 25 minutes later, she's like, she goes, damn it, Ed. Right? But thank you.
I'm gonna miss you.
I miss you already. Everybody drinking. All right. John, Megan, what? Oh, I see. No, seriously, John hit it on the button. For those of you that weren't here before he came and got on the mic, I've known John for years, since he's been on our Police and Fire Commission board. And when we were going through our transition, sorry fire guys, it wasn't the norm. But my mission was to honestly try to find some dirt on this guy. My mission was to try to find out, he can't be liked this much, right? And thank God that we did know John, for those of us that have been around a while, because it helped with that transition that we knew him. And it makes me feel better moving forward, knowing that my family's in good hands. And that means the world to me. My intention was to stay here for 30 years. I did not plan on leaving my home, right? But I always knew that there would be an option in my life when I would be old. Sorry for all you old guys. And that I would have that opportunity to collect my pension. And just certain events help expedite that and made that option available to me. So I was fortunate enough to do that, and I'm fortunate enough to have John take the con, right? And there's the fake con, John, so here you go. You gotta catch it, brother. It's in the air. You got it? Yeah. All right.
Set my water down, I come back. I can't.
So take care of that con, pass it on, because it's important. All right? And you have a great group of guys here and gals. Yes. And Alex, you can always come back whenever you want. Alex Cruz he was one of the old school Hawthorne Woods officers. And then we have Josh back there. We have Eric. We have lot of family that I'm just glad to see. Residents that your kids, I've seen them when you respond to me, right? Tell Phil I said hi. All my fire guys, you know I've loved all your stuff, right? Lake Zurich, you guys have been like family to me. Randy, Dave, all you guys. I know I'm not going far, but I'm going in good hands. And for all you guys know Killdeer. And you guys know that I'm in good hands. I'm in good hands. They're going to take care of me, I'm going to take care of them, and I'm just a hop, skip, and a jump away. And I love each and every one of you guys for being here. Dennis, you and your son, I'm so proud to see that. All you guys. Katie, Tony, Joey. So, with that being said, John, it's yours. Thank you guys.